Hello, everyone, and welcome to Episode 8 of our Boundary Riders Events of podcast. And today we will talk about IPL. It looks like just yesterday when we were reviewing each of the teams how they fared in the auction. We shared a video about that. We discussed about the strengths and weaknesses of all the teams. Then there was that dubious tour of Australia. Then came the highs of winning the Champions Trophy. And here we are. IPL is knocking at our doors. And whenever IPL knocks at our doors, we are always excited. So this is the 18th season of IPL. Can't imagine IPL growing to be an adult now. So it has got all the license to vote and all, and it can have a driver's license also now. So it has grown into an adult. We have a strong history and strong legacy of IPL at this point of time. Even the people who were born after IPL have started. They have started playing. They have started being picked in the auctions, and some of them have started playing also. So it's a rich history now, and we will talk about IPL. We'll try to share weekly episodes where we talk about the different aspects of the matches. We have already shared about the strengths and weaknesses of the teams. Now we'll talk about the individual games. What are the different matchups? How the teams are shaped up? What are the opponents of the teams, and how exciting it's going to be. So yeah, let's talk about some of the matches which are there in the first week of the IPL. Some exciting matches coming up, and the first match this time is pretty much exciting with a very rich history, right? That is going to come this Friday. So let's talk about that. Maybe Ardhinder, you can start. Let's talk about the first match.
Yeah, so the very good day to everyone. So we are back with the festival of cricket in India, T20 cricket in India. That's the IPL and season number 18. So uh, 18 jersey number Virat Kohli. Hopefully this season 18th season is going to bring him luck and bring the trophy to Bangalore. So as we talk about the very first match. That's KKR versus RCB, and uh, where else other than the Eden Gardens? I mean, one of the most historical grounds in India, and also I think the first. I think that Eden Gardens was the first where the first match happened, right? KKR versus RCB, that innings from Brendan McCullum. So these two teams, I mean, they share a great history.
So that was
It
in
has been
Bangalore.
That
that
was
was in
Bangalore.
Bangalore, right? Nonetheless, I mean, still Eden Gardens has seen a lot between these two teams. I think these two teams share a lot of history amongst themselves. The battle is called as the El Primo battle because that was the first match between KKR and RCB, that inaugural match ever in the IPL. That innings from Brendan McCullum. Going from there, the Gambhir era, where I think clearly KKR had an edge over RCB. That 49 all out for RCB, and then so KKR has mostly dominated RCB, I would say, in all the seasons. But RCB has bounced back as well in certain phases, and that rivalry between RCB and KKR has always spiced up with players turning out from both the sides, be it Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers, Chris Gayle, or even Rahul Dravid and Anil Kumble. And then we had Saurav Ganguly, Brendan McCullum, Chris Gayle even played for KKR. Then there was an era of Gautam Gambhir and Robin Uthappa. And the recent champions, KKR, has been a flawless team last year. They were the best team in the tournament, and we most probably knew that it was going to be KKR in the finals. So, but this year, though KKR have done very well in the auction, that's what we discussed in the auction as well, and they have a very solid team compared to what RCB has. RCB does not have a very good bowling lineup. That's what I feel. But still, I'm looking forward to this contest because this is again going to be a very spiced up contest. Now that RCB has got now that RCB has got a new captain in Rajat Patidar, and they have some explosive players. Phil Salt transferred from KKR to RCB, so he's going to open now for RCB in a New Jersey in the Reds. And then there would be fireworks from the other side as well. We have Sunil Narine, we have Andre Russell, we have a new captain, Ajinkya Rahane. So it's kind of going to be a battle between Rahane versus Virat as well. So yes, looking forward to this battle. It's a great battle. So yeah.
And if you look at it, RCB and KKR were kind of the final two teams, and also Delhi were the final three teams to announce their captains. Mostly, all other captains were well settled. We knew they were going to be. But for these three teams, it was kind of a guessing game who would be the captain. And I was seeing an article somewhere that Ajinkya Rahane versus Rajat Patidar going into the toss for the first match of the IPL. I think that would be the most auraless two captains going into the toss. Though Rahane has his own history of captaining IPL, but still, like he hasn't placed that hold of himself into the IPL arena. So yeah, that is something that we are going to see how that shapes out. Two new captains, how it is for them. Shoykat, like you have connect with both the teams. You stay at Bangalore, and your heart lies in Kolkata. So how does it feel for you?
Yeah, it's a good introduction, I would say. Alindan Shamadip, you introduced well about the rivalry of the both the teams and the history of it. So I want to talk about bit detailed about this team. I think what we know from outside and what it looks like is supposed to happen. So I feel this year it's going to be little different with KKR. We see. I feel Chandrakant Pandit is still growing as an IPL coach. So I'm not criticizing him. The fact is he's a great mentor who can grow where kids can grow around him. But IPL is little different. We have seen that when KKR sees the moment when Rinku hit that five sixes, but nobody talks about KKR have lost four consecutive matches from there. Ideally, the momentum of the team has to be sky high. From there, you have to usually teams go up and clinch everything, but eventually somewhere something some mismanagement or some inexperience I would say which still probably Chandrakant Pandit needs to grow. It's not about giving your thoughts to the upcoming players and cricketers who are growing. It's all about how you manage these people. You should be a manager rather than just a head coach. That is the biggest challenge which is going to come this time around. We don't have Abhishek Nair as well. They don't have it, which means without Gautam Gambhir, without Abhishek Nair, it'll be a bit challenging for them. And then obviously the captaincy role. I'm still not worried about KKR being Rahane as the captain. He was still the best person to be given that role. But I think the management, I'm a little dicey this year, even with this similar kind of team. It's highly unlikely if I think of from an outside view that they will be retaining the title. This is about an outside look of KKR team, and let me talk about the RCB. RCB have a tremendous batting lineup if you think about one-dimensional hitting. So if you look at that batting lineup, then you see Phil Salt, you see Virat Kohli, Rajat Patidar can tackle the spinning, and then Livingston, Jacob Bethel, and eventually they have Tim David as well. So if you think of that one-dimensional hitting, what SRH did last year, they're a tremendous team. But what lies ahead? What is a plan B? Who is your player who can, carry when it's 30 for 4, when Virat Kohli is already in the dugout? I don't see that apart from Rajat Patil. And Rajat Patil obviously he will be carrying a huge pressure in the shoulder, right? You're captaining a side where fans are emotional. You will get all the kind of support from the crowd everywhere. They turn out every year expecting that their team is going to win this time. Even if they don't, they still support. They still give their heart out to the fans, and then you're carrying that burden in their shoulder and captaining that side, right? This is one thing which I'm a bit worried about RCB about their one-dimensional batting, and the other thing is I see one spin bowling all-rounder, which is Krunal Pandya, and the other factor I am seeing is this Krunal Pandya is the only left-hander in the entire lineup. So imagine in an IPL match when we have one-sided boundary which is comparatively quite lesser than the other side, then you will be missing the trick of getting that left-hander. And the entire lineup, apart from Krunal Pandya, will probably a floater in that lineup. Will not be. I mean, there is no other batsman who can take that position. Apart from that, he's the only spinner, reputed spinner. If I'm talking about Swapnil Singh did well. Swapnil Singh is still there. And then the other spinner, I think they have to probably play Manoj Bhangre and Suyash Sharma if required as a 12th,
Sharma.
12th man.
Correct.
So these are the areas I just briefly spoke about what it looks like at the beginning of the tournament, that these are the challenges this team is going to face. I think some of you can Rigjay can discuss about the strengths of this two team.
Right. And whenever we talk about RCB, the biggest challenge they have is their home ground, right? They do not have the home advantage. Every team who is filled with hitters, they will grasp that advantage from the word go. So they miss that home advantage. And when we talk about KKR and RCB, right? Maybe because we follow these two teams so closely. But if you look at the history, I think these two teams have the most number of shared players. We look at Gale, who from KKR to played for both the teams. We look at Phil Salt. Now they are playing for both the teams. Dinesh Karthik even has played for a majority for both the teams. So they have lot many shared players. So
So if you remember
yes,
that 49 all-out game, right? They took all the bowlers the next season, and eventually
right,
no one performed for them.
Hmm.
right, right. But Chris Gale's was the most drastic change. Like he had performed a certain way in KKR, which was not that explosive as we know him for. But once he moved to RCB, he had a brilliant couple of seasons, both the seasons orange cap. So that was a beautiful phase. Rigja, anything that you feel we missed out on discussing?
I mean, no, I mean, Dindu and Cricket have covered the technical aspect of it. They also covered the overall prospect of both the teams in the tournament. But if you want to strictly concentrate on this particular match, obviously, teams are some of the teams are have retained their core, including KKR, MI, and all CSK, and some of the team had gone for a fresh start because of the mega auction. So that will be a very fun thing to watch. Some of the teams have given new captaincies and all. So they are planning something of a fresh journey. Most of the team are trying for a fresh journey. But I would keep that discussion aside, and I would just concentrate on this match. So this match is KKR's match. Okay, so whenever there's a big occasion and whenever RCB plays with KKR, KKR always comes on the top, and they beat RCB quite comprehensively. If you remember that 49 all out, that's something like even some other team fan taunt RCB that remember 49 or something related to 49. Just we have 7 for Thala or Thala for a reason. Then similarly they taunt RCB for that 49 thing and all. So these kind of moments have happened. I mean KKR whatever they have done and given the throughout the history of IPL whatever moment KKR has given to us as KKR fans, some of them has come against RCB. So again, and last year also RCB bottled that match. They were like cruising at one point of a time, and we thought that we might lose the match, and they bottled that match, and KKR managed to win. So that's why I think for this particular match, the opening match, I do not know how KKR is going to do, as you have mentioned that they have kept like if you consider a big tree and you chop off the root and you chop off the branches, all you have the trunk. So KKR is like that. You have the trunk, but you chopped off Abhishek Nair and Gambhir, and you chopped off the captain and the key players like Mitchell Stark and all. Mitchell Stark, I won't say key player, but he was key in the qualifier. So and now you are left with the trunk. So it's now again the tree has to grow from the top and from the bottom. So let's see how it can. I'm not rating KKR to win this IPL this year, but they won't be like 9-10. Okay, that's for sure. Like they have that batting order and bowling backup to at least go to the qualifier. So that they might not be able to defend. But for this particular match, I am betting on KKR to win comprehensively, like a fireworks start in the IPL. Yeah.
Absolutely. And because you talked about the changing captaincy, one more thing that will be very interesting to look at is where does Ajinkya Rahane place himself in the batting lineup? Because judging by the last year, definitely Sunil Narayan, and we have a like-for-like replacement for Phil Salt, which is Quinton de Kock or Gurbaz. Two of them will open. So Rahane has to hold to that number 3 position. But if they kind of play through the power plays, then we have an array of big hitting people coming up. So Rahane will have that conflict in his captaincy. He will have that captaincy versus batsman kind of conflict where how can he place himself in the batting lineup? Because moment it goes to the 7th over or 8th over without a loss of a wicket, then Rahane cannot come at number 3 and play along, right? So that is something that is a conflict that he will go through. But let's see, it is going to be very exciting, right?
Yeah, I think
so
the
I think
advantage. I think the biggest advantage for KKR here is Ramandeep Singh is coming at number 8, so that shows the depth of the batting. And then you have Harshit Rana as well, who is predominantly known as good hitting abilities. We haven't seen it, but we know that. So that allows Rahane, if Rahane is not able to play in the power play, I don't know how much he will be able to contribute or what is the role of him is somewhat who is carrying one side of the. I don't think so. T20s will be played what we see, what we have seen last year. Right? T20 cricket is not about holding one side anymore. It's about
right.
which team is you're getting
It's gonna be
lesser
bang
number
bang
of
from the
hitting
beginning.
against them.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the thing is that he has to play the role he played in CSK, but down the order, which is very tough for him because he's not a
Yeah,
big player.
Right.
see him. Yeah, I see him. He's coming only when it's KKR lost a wicket in the first over, second over, or probably 20, 24-3, 34-4 kind of situation. I see him. I see his role, but I still feel that he's a guy who should be playing in the first 6 overs. That also allows what a emerging star Raghuvanshi not to he will be probably missing out on that number 3 slot. He did with limited amount of chances whatever he got that. So, but again, that is where the mentor role, where Gambhir did really well. Last year, KKR was not favorites. Simply, people they finished 7th in the last previous 2 seasons, and they kind of went with the similar team with just addition of Mitchell Stark and Phil Salt, and that made a difference. few tricks here and there, and good mentorship, I think, would be required here to take this team throughout.
Yeah, Bravo has a good
Yeah, I
history
think
of coaching. He
yeah,
has done well in the Caribbean Premier League, so yeah, that can be a good addition also.
I think
Yeah,
Rahane would be coming at around 3, I would say. I mean, in most of the situations, he would be there at 3 just to provide that stability because I'm not sure how Quinton de Kock is going to play. Uh, not sure because he does not have that much of international exposure in the last few years, and I don't see any of his relevant experiences around the globe as well in any of the leagues, right? So not sure how Quinton de Kock is going to play. Does he have a 400 plus season or not? And also Sunil Narine, I'm not sure if whether he'll be able to replicate what he did last year, right? Because that was a dream season that he had. Not sure if you will have that season.
yeah,
So
I
I
think
not it's very early in the start of the tournament, but I'm also predicting one more thing that we might see Rahane open as well. If
Mhm.
Decock fails, they would not chop Nareen even if he fails. They would still keep him. But if Decock fails, I would I would like to see Rahane open the innings because the way he
so.
performed in Syed Mustaq Ali Trophy, I think he did well. He did well there. He was hitting the balls. He was not just holding up one innings. So he might come up there if Decock fails. So
So I think I
that is
have
one
an
thing that.
opinion here, Abdindu. So I
Hmm.
think you mentioned about right. There has to be a plan B. Rahane, I mean, sorry,
Hmm.
Sunil Narayan might have the best season of his career last year, but he
Correct.
may not replicate. But I think the plan B is they have purchased a very good underrated uncapped wicketkeeper from Karnataka called Lavneet Sisodia. So he's
Hmm.
the next Kishan kind of whatever I've seen him. He's a gun wicketkeeper who dives like Dinesh Karthik, and then he is a gun batsman. What I've seen. So probably he will be the guy you will be throwing at the top and for the role what
Ah,
Sunil Narine will play. Probably I'm seeing this somewhere in
yeah.
the middle. So what that will allow, if you can see, that will allow either Moeen Ali or Rovman Powell to fit in the middle order. That will be a powerful middle order considering Rovman Powell, Andre Russell, Rinku Singh,
Russell.
and Ramandeep. These are the four your finishers, which will probably one of the best in the tournament. So
Hmm.
this
Right.
is another option that might be explored.
And
Yeah.
another interesting aspect would be to see the chemistry between Chandrakant Pandit and Bravo. Because I was
Bravo.
reading it somewhere, one is going to sleep at 5 a.m. kind of a guy, and another is waking up at 5 a.m. kind of a guy. So how they gel up, that is something which will be interesting to see.
Need
Um,
to talk about bit more about RCB, right? I think what their strategy could be and what sort of play they will be expecting doing like the last year what they did and similarly what was the role of Virat Kohli. So will Virat
yeah.
Kohli be criticized again with his 120 odd strike rate? I don't know because if Phil Salt plays like the what he did last year, I think he would be. Phil Salt, I mean, doesn't matter. We have seen it. We just talked about the form of Quinton against Sunil Narine. When Sunil Narine comes in IPL, he's a different beast. So as Andre Russell, who
Mhm.
does not perform mostly in majority of the, but this year he's doing. But I think whatever the condition, whatever the scenario, whatever the form they are carrying, I still feels Phil Salt will get a similar pitch what he got in Eden Gardens as Chinnaswamy Stadium. So I think he's what he will do. He'll just make these 10 ball 30 odd run that will pull down a lot of pressure on Virat Kohli. So the only area they probably have to think in is Rasikdar Dar Salam. Probably they have to fit him. He's probably doing really well, and they have spent what 6 crore on him. So in absence of Josh Hazelwood, who will not be available. So I think a lot will depend on Rashid and Bhuvneshwar on the swing bowling side.
As usual, I mean, RCB have not managed to have a very good bowling lineup. From a batting perspective, they have done well. Again, I mean, they have hitters all throughout. So, coming to the question of what Virat Kohli's role is going to be, it's kind of going to be the role of holding one end, right? That's how it has to be because there are hitters all around. There is there's Rajat Patidar, there is Phil Salt, there is Liam Livingstone, there is Jitesh Sharma. Everyone is a hitter
But he
in
will
that
open.
lineup,
But
right?
he will open for sure.
Yeah, he will open for sure.
He'll open.
He will hold that one innings. He will try to play at least 15, 16 overs in every match, right? Maybe score that 45 ball 70 or a 65. That's what he would aim to, and maybe post a 200 plus score in every match because that's the cushion they have to provide to their bowlers. Because Bhuvaneshwar Kumar he did not look good in the last IPL as well. He does not have international experience. I mean, for the last few years, is that he has not done exceptionally well when it comes to even in the domestic leagues as well. So not sure how he's going to perform. Apart from that, Krunal Pandya is the only spinner they don't have.
Is a very unforgivable ground for
Correct.
players like him.
Yes, absolutely, and
Yeah.
they don't have any X factor and a bowler, someone like a Varun Chakravarti that KKR has in the lineup. They don't have that. Krunal Pandya is okay. He's a kind of a stock bowler. He would give you on his day. He will give you some economical overs, or maybe he'll go for a 4 over 40 run spell. So Razik
Correct.
Dar Salam
And I
will be.
think-
That's why Razik Dar Salam will be
Yeah.
a important one to add up. I mean, he was good with Delhi Capitals last year. So let's see how he does. But
I think
on most of the
they have
days,
Yash Dayal as well. Yash Dayal as well, though they have
correct.
trusted Yash Dayal with their retention. But I was surprised they took back Devdutt Padikkal. So I don't see him play anywhere apart from number 3. So
Correct.
they have made a huge bet, and they will hope that he does something good for them. But I haven't seen even at his best best days, I haven't seen him score more than 130 odd strike rate. That is a key. Probably he will they might include him because about the left-hander what I talked about, right? They probably will play him instead of some other down the order Indian player, or they will
Maybe
miss
they will
out
try him at 4 or 3, 3 or 4
Right.
is what it will be. But having that 130 plus strike rate on a Chinnaswamy Stadium is a crime. I mean, they have to give 200 plus to their bowlers every time. That's the key.
Years go by and we talk about the same aspects for RCB. Nothing changes. Not sure how they plan their options, but it's exactly the
think,
same set of challenges that they stick to.
Yeah, I think if we talk about prediction, right? I still see KKR going in the top 4, but I don't see RCB going in the top 4 this time.
So, Shaukat, your prediction for this match?
I think KKR is going to win this because if I remember, they have played 9 or 10 first matches, and for the first match of the IPL, they have played around 9 or 10 times, and they have won 8 out of those. So KKR somehow manages to win the first match. So I see them winning in their home ground.
Okay. Ardhendu, your prediction for the season and for this match?
For this match, it's going to be KKR. They definitely have the edge. So they are going to win this match. For a season, I would say KKR would be finishing at 4 or 5 this season. RCB might go to the qualifiers. I'm just riding on that luck that Virat Kohli might bring 18, season 18. That's the only factor. Otherwise, they are not going to win. These two teams are not definitely going to win, but they are going to be like RCB is going to be 5, 6, or maybe 4 somehow if they can go, and KKR 4 or 5.
Okay. Rigya?
I already told about the match. I am expecting KKR to, bulldoze RCB in the first match. It'll be a hell of an entertaining match. But for the whole season, as the Ardhendu and Shrikot mentioned, I believe that I will be very happy if they win. But they will qualify. They will probably get eliminated in the eliminator, something like that. What brings them to being 4th? RCB will not. My prediction for RCB is that they won't qualify for 4th. They will be like 8, 9. Okay.
Okay. My prediction my prediction will be RCB, in the bottom 4, definitely. And I see KKR going into the top 4, probably into the top 2 also. Like Richa was mentioning, the trunk is still there, right? So you never know. Like some way or the other, if things click for them, I can see them in the top 2, at least in the league stage, and then whatever may happen. And if I talk about overall prediction, I somehow have a feeling that Punjab will do pretty well this time. They have the team for doing pretty well. Okay, so I think that's it in terms of the first match of this IPL. Pretty exciting match coming up. That's about this episode. I would request you all to subscribe this channel, and we'll discuss about more such matches, more such matchups, and let's see how this entire IPL goes for us. Very excited. Thank you, everyone.